Like it.
Big fella, what you got?
Well, this topic here on this show note page that I'm looking at is not the actual topic that I want to talk about. So I'm going to call an audible.
Oh,
Call it.
Omaha,
And
Nebraska.
I'm going to call an audible. And,
Yep.
and I was watching a movie this week. Actually, last weekend, I was watching a movie on Netflix. And it's with Julia Roberts.
Ooh, pretty woman.
No.
Walking down the street.
Pretty woman.
It's actually it's a new movie on Netflix, and it's called Leave the World Behind.
Oh boy,
And it is
you for sure that's not one of Dave's sad country songs?
no. It's actually it was
Gonna make it
drawn from a okay. Rumaan, Ruman Alam, best-selling, National Book Award winning 2020 novel. Is where the movie was based off of. And it's basically just a portrayal of a family that rents an Airbnb for the weekend outside of the city. And basically the world becomes under attack by some terrorists, like with an EMP and a bunch of other like cyber warfare and all kinds of stuff. And it just basically portrays how everybody is so dependent on social media, internet, phones, screens.
You mean the current state of affairs?
Yes, like everything, like even like what we're doing now. You know what I mean? Like everything is it revolves around your cellular. What are you looking at, Charlie?
I don't know.
Taking it in.
Yeah. But anyway, I got to thinking about that movie, and that movie prompted me to do some thinking about preparedness. And as a Boy Scout, as an Eagle Scout, it's 3 fingers. Boy Scouts.
What was the one in Kill a Mockingbird? Not To Kill a Mockingbird. Jennifer Lawrence. The movie.
Hunger Games?
Hunger Games. That's it. Don't they do like... No, that's not. That's you got that off his algorithm.
Is that it? The
Yeah.
Hunger Games whistle?
Perfect.
Inward whistling. That was what that was. Anyway, I was thinking about doomsday prepping. And not like hardcore.
Sure took it a long way around there.
Shut up. Justine.
Forever to get here. Jesus. Hey, if you're still listening, we're talking about doomsday prepping.
Yep, that's all I had.
Well, as far as doomsday prepping goes, I mean, I think it all depends on the amount of space you have. Because I'd love to have 55-gallon drums full of MREs and rice. But where do you put them at? I've also always wanted to bury a storage container into the backyard, but then everybody see you doing it. So I feel like if you were to put in a pond, that'd be the time to bury one under the water. Because they'd expect the excavators there.
Come again, Rain Man?
Well, you don't want everybody to know you got a bunker.
Don't disagree with that logic, but is there concern of putting that underneath a big body of water?
It would be pretty, actually, it would be just subsurface.
How would you... What?
I would want it to be there because I'd probably put solar panels just under the water.
How are solar panels going to work under the water?
Well, you got these UV rays.
Yeah, but the water, they wouldn't get through there.
Oh, I think they might.
According to ready.gov, which there again,
You can't trust that
I
because
know.
of the .gov.
I know.
It probably says something like contact your local authority. Uncle Sam's got you covered.
Yeah.
What is the?
You can count on us.
What is it that Ronald Reagan said? The eight scariest words you could ever hear is "I'm from the government. I'm here to help."
Yeah.
I'm from the government, and I'm here
to help.
help.
That's 9.
9.
Yeah. 9. Basic disaster supply list.
I'm from
the government,
and I'm here to help.
That's
Still
9.
9. I think there was a comma, not an and.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think it was Ronald Reagan famously said that.
According to ready.gov,
Which we can't trust.
the basic disaster supplies kit.
Water,
Yes.
candles,
Water number 1.
rope.
1 gallon. What
What do we need a rope
freaking
for?
rope? Water, it says,
Duct tape.
Oh, get you to rope that, Rambo.
1 gallon per person per day for several days for drinking and sanitation.
Uh-huh.
You're just going to pee and poop outside.
Food, at least a several day supply of non-perishables. Battery power or hand-cranked radio and a NOAA weather radio with tone alert.
You could have said NOAA radio.
No.
Flashlight, first aid kit, extra batteries, a whistle, dust mask, plastic sheeting, and duct tape
Sounds like a scene from Dexter.
to shelter in place.
Mm.
Moist towelettes, garbage bags, and plastic ties for personal sanitation. I'm not shitting in a bag. I'm shitting on the ground. Wrench or pliers to turn off utilities.
Oh.
Manual can opener for food. Local maps. Cell phone with chargers and a backup battery pack.
And a Faraday cage. They don't put that on there, but if it's an EMP. Do you guys keep an extra phone in like a metal box in case there is an EMP?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
The way you said that, Rain Man says otherwise.
Additional emergency supplies. Soap, sanitizer, disinfecting wipes, prescription meds, which is a tough spot.
Because you're only allowed to get so many.
Yeah, because like your insurance will only give you so many. Right.
That's probably the first place you ought to think about looting.
The drugstore?
Mm.
Yeah.
But don't you think everybody else would have that same thought?
No, they're gonna be trying to figure out where their phone went.
Non-prescription medicines such as pain relievers, anti-diarrhea,
Anti-diarrhea. Anti-diarrhea.
Imodium,
My old anti-diarrhea.
antacids or laxatives,
Hey, is Aunt Diarrhea coming over tonight? Yeah, I think she is.
prescription eyeglasses or contact solution or lenses,
She always comes at an inconvenient time.
infant formula, pet food, cash or traveler's checks.
Or gold or beads.
Beads. Only the ones that are on a string and get progressively bigger towards the one end.
Oh, boy.
Important family documents such as copies of insurance policies.
Because that freaking matters.
Sleeping
That's what Uncle Sam's going to...
yeah. Sleeping bag or warm blanket, a complete change of clothing or appropriate to your climate, sturdy shoes and whatnots. See, now I feel like we're getting like glamping. Like this is the glamping list. You know,
Can I point out an observation?
fire extinguisher, matches, feminine supplies, a mess kit, paper plates, or a paper pencil. Oh, and then don't forget, last but not least, your book,
Lot lizard.
your books, games, puzzles, or other activities for the children.
If you notice something about our friend over there, he's done a lot of reading off that Googler machine. A lot. You notice that lately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't like it?
I just think it takes away from the conversation a little bit. You got your nose in your iPad.
We're building off of something here.
Well, I think the point we came to is we can't trust that list because it comes from the government.
Well, do you not think that there's some actual good things on here?
Probably, but let's just... I think we might have covered something similar to this in an episode...
No, don't.
There it went. In an episode in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Are you really saying that? Like we did talk about this?
yeah.
Is
We
it 'cause
mentioned
your
bug out
topic?
bags. We mentioned bug out bags.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just
So
assume
what's
that we
different
all
from that list from a bug out bag?
A lot.
Yeah, because this is what we're talking about here is more of a
Cachet.
term. Yeah,
Like we're setting up like for a long term haul here.
Yeah.
yeah. So we're probably ideally the three of us and our families are meeting up in one local area. We're not going to stay split up between this Cass Township like we are.
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to all hole up in one area.
A commune.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we bringing in? We got a
No.
short list.
Yeah, so we've got a NP, an RN, and then a veterinarian, and 9 kids between us. I think we got plenty.
And a lawyer to negotiate any deals with other tribes.
Unless they have a lawyer, I don't know if that's...
I think we'll use our 2 buddies, Smith and Wesson, to do most of those negotiations.
Yeah.
I'm okay
Which
with
that was one thing that's not on that list
because it's
the government. But those are 2 things that are
because we all know that
probably
our
right
trying
next
to take our guns.
probably right next to the whole water and the food there. Yeah.
Now I always heard
because I don't know if you need food if you got a pistole and a hoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, garden tool, not a lot lizard.
Yeah.
I always heard the old thing that when you have those kind of situations, you fill up the bathtub right away.
Well, that's what they did on this movie. That was one of the first things.
Now, see, that is when you are in an urban area, like you think in New York and all those places, where they're pumping water onto the roof of those big.
It'll become
tall
scarce
buildings.
fast.
Right, but out here, we're on city water. You don't need electric to run water. It's just head pressure from the tower. So maybe it wouldn't be bad to fill up your tub, but you're probably okay. There's not a bunch of wells out here, but there's some wells out here. And there's enough ponds and lakes in this neck of the woods to do all the peons.
And just boil the water for 12 minutes.
Boil it and filter it and strain it.
I don't know if it's 12 minutes. Is it 12 minutes?
Well,
don't you have a straw that you can drink out of a puddle?
Yeah, well, but that's just more stuff to have to pack around.
Oh.
See, one of the 3 of us has a pretty big pond at the house. It'd probably last a family of, what are we all together here? 15? If we were one big cohesive.
5 times 3 would be 15.
I bet one of us has enough water to keep us going for better part of a month.
Yeah, considering you don't have any water.
Well, I wasn't trying to give away the locale.
Oh.
Way to go, dickhead.
Huh. We could fish too. We could catch fish. There's a lot of them dinky little rat bastards.
At that point in time, I bet the DNR has better things to do than see who's got a license.
No, they'd probably still be out there regulating.
Have them at my house anyway.
Right, that's true.
They'd be regulators.
Mount up. They're mounting up. But yeah, no, I was just thinking about that. So, do you guys ever do anything? And I sometimes I feel like when that TV show came out, Doomsday Preppers,
I loved it.
I do too. I mean, I did like it. I learned a lot from it, because like water that's stored in like plastic bottles, they don't last forever. You know what I mean? Like that was one thing.
We had water in that metal tub over there for a year.
Well, I mean, they like at a certain time after water has been stored in like those plastic bottles,
it begins the plastic.
Yeah, but when you're in a life or death situation,
it's better than nothing.
I guarantee I'm going to drink
I think the bad thing about
a bottle of water.
Some of the prepping that came through was like it made it sound crazy, but in all Doomsday Prepper, there's a little bit a level of resourcefulness.
Yeah, just being prepared.
And I think that's the thing. Like there's.
So non-perishables, like when you look at your food cabinets at home, I mean, if push come to shove, like you could probably make it for a couple of days, right?
Maybe not in actual stuff, but there's always plenty of flour and rice.
Not the time to bake cookies, Dave.
Oh no, but you got. I mean, we could get by. We'd be set to go.
I think that makes you wonder if a guy should have more.
Sure.
Like you said, rice and beans on where you could boil
Yeah.
Because we don't have a bunch of that.
So there's the thing. Like when you go to these non-perishables, like number one, you got to buy like cases of bottled water. Like that's a thing. Like you go buy, like every time you go to Walmart, you should bring a bottle of water case home. Like every time.
Yeah, I agree.
Every time you go to Walmart, you should buy a box of shotgun shells. Or every time you go, like, just pick up a box of whatever, just something like every time you shop, and we did for a long time. So like, not giving anything away there, but another thing too, like when you go, you should buy, like you say, a big can of beans or a bag of rice or whatever. You know what I mean? Like those things that just don't go bad.
Yeah.
bleach. That was another thing that's not on that list.
But you got to be careful to make sure you buy the right kind of bleach.
Why? What do you
Because
mean?
there's some that doesn't have the disinfecting properties. There's two types of bleach out there on the market, and one is like just a normal cleaner. The other one's like the disinfectant.
You worried about stains on the carpet in
No, no mold in your air ventilation system.
Because that's what happens in The Walking Dead when they get into prison. They get that weird
Or like
respiratory illness.
if you have to commandeer another place, that has been uninhabited.
We want to sterilize.
Yeah, you got to
Mm.
start fresh. Bleach is a good.
Well, because think about that. When you break down into small clans like that, it's kind of just like with the Native Americans and the smallpox blankets. Like if that tribe has a different kind of deal that they've become immune to and they run into somebody else.
Ain't nobody like once 1025. Once we get our own funk, and we've learned to live with our funk.
Musk.
Yeah, like we don't like if we have to take over and spread our wings a little bit to like say down there at 1,000 or up there at 950. Like I don't want none of their funk.
Yeah.
But watching that movie and kind of thinking about it's
So was the movie more practical or is it like
it hit
spooky?
it was spooky, yeah, but it kind of cheesy too, like worst case scenario.
So
type
what
shit.
attacked? You said terrorists, like actual.
EMP cyber attack
Oh, okay.
took down the grid.
That's always reassuring.
They still had electricity and shit like that, but like none of their phones worked. No communication, no telephone, no calls, no
So we got to be a
texts.
ham audio.
So you got that, and there's also this other thing called Internet in a Box, and you can take all of Wikipedia and download it, and it's not that big considerably. And then the Internet Archives. I mean, there's everything on there.
Right.
So you can. We've got that, and you
But
put it on
there's
a
no-
Raspberry Pi, and then that's what stays in a Faraday cage. So
But
if
there's
everything does go down,
there's no communication with that.
you don't need you don't need it.
Why?
Who would you need to communicate with? Like if we woke up tomorrow
Yep.
after staying up all night, we go get Denny's. Hey boys, we'll talk to you tomorrow. And then we're sending texts because I'm trying to see how Casey's doing with the kids at home. Because Janelle's working, my wife's working. I'm going to see what you're doing, and I can't get a message out to you guys. I'm going to drive down there. If nobody's getting anything.
No, you're not,
Why not?
because your car ain't gonna run.
The tractor will.
Ooh.
You
If I
reckon?
get out and the cars won't start, and I can't get a hold of you,
Mhm.
I can get the tractor going.
What about the Harley?
Harley would probably go, but I can't get the kids on that because I can hook the wagon up to the tractor.
A little hayride. Here's my question. How do you think this takes a moment of self-inflection? How do you think you would survive in a doomsday situation?
Not a problem. I'd lose a lot of weight real quick.
That's what Ethan Hawke plays the husband in this this movie.
Yeah.
And at one point, his son was bitten by a bug that had a virus that caused his teeth to fall out.
Oh, shoot.
Once again, worst case scenario. They go to a neighboring property who is owned by an actor or a role that was played by Kevin Bacon,
Ooh.
who was a prepared human being, and Ethan Hawke starts telling Kevin Bacon, hey, I need your help. We heard you probably had medicine and all this shit. He's like, yeah, that's none of your business. Your problems that you're dealing with right now are not my problems. So if you wanted to, it'd probably be best for you guys to just get back in your car and get the hell out of off my property.
And I think last time we talked about this, I said the same thing. We live in a small enough community. I don't think we'd have that problem.
You don't?
There's going to be people that fall into that, like, sorry, you're shit out of luck. But
Yeah.
I think that,
They're like that anyways, and we're not in the doomsday problem.
But
I mean, I think there's enough people here that it'd be like, okay, well, somehow
that was what Ethan
you get
Hawke-
into the barter system.
Ethan Hawke said. He makes the comment that I am a completely worthless man. Like I don't know how to do anything.
Oh, that's
I don't know, I can't, I don't have any medicine. I don't know how to start a fire. I don't know how to skin a buck. I don't know how to, they live in a subdivision, or not a subdivision, but like in the inner city kind of urban, area, and they can't do things like that. They don't know how to do things like that. And I think that's one thing that maybe either would benefit us out here, knowing what we know as far as like that kind of stuff. But then on the same side of that coin, it may, it could come back and bite us in the ass too, because there's a lot of other people out there that know how to do it too.
So I think community-wise would be set. Like everybody would be like, okay, well, you're on your own. You can surely feed yourself. But having nurse wives and veterinarian wives and nurse practitioner wives, we got pharmacists in the hood. We've got doctors in the hood.
Yeah, but that stuff don't mean jack shit if you ain't got the drugs to give them, or you ain't got the proper.
I think you'd be surprised how deep they get into pharmacy school. I imagine there'd be some sort of mesh that they could be like, well, in a pinch, there's a lot of chemistry classes that come with pharmacy school.
All you need's honey.
And not ginger root.
Dandelion root.
That's it.
Dandelion root, yeah.
Anyway,
Shoot.
I don't know. I was just thinking about it.
I like
I think I need like us as a family, like we need to start.
What
Trying to do
doomsday skills would you need to sharpen?
Well, just building my stash, I guess. That would be number one. Is building my stash.
to your point, I probably need to get like an old deuce and a half.
Yeah.
Something carbureted that runs off anything that's slightly more potent than water.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's good. I like it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's an
I know.
interesting
Right.
thought exercise.
Yeah.